Mr. Bobulinski, please
I'm sorry.
proceed.
Okay.
Please proceed. I apologize for the disruption from the minority.
Okay.
Tony Bobulinski, the former business partner of Hunter Biden, or one of many former business partners, recently engaged in a testy exchange with Representative Jamie Raskin. This was during the opening statements to the House Oversight Committee hearing on the Biden impeachment. Bobulinski used this time to call a bunch of people liars, including Representative Dan Goldman, as well as Raskin. In fact, let's take a look at that.
Rep. Dan Goldman and Jamie Raskin, both lawyers, and Mr. Goldman, a former prosecutor with the SDNY from New York, will continue to lie today in this hearing and then go straight to the media to tell more lies. Hunter Biden's defense attorney, Abby Lowell, weaponizes letters to Congress to try to smear my name
Mr.
and
Chairman.
misstate the cold hard facts
Mr. Chairman.
in an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father. I challenge Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it saved his time, but he called members of this committee liars, and I just want to know whether the order and decorum requirements of House Rule 11 apply to witnesses appearing before the committee.
Okay, apparently that rule does not apply to Bobulinski, but I want to get to who's lying here. The guy that has no evidence, or the people stuck coming to this nonsense hearing because Republicans want to continue this impeachment hoax. I mean, Bobulinski is supposed to be this amazing witness for the Republicans, right? But all he has is unfounded, allegations, accusations, but nothing that backs up any actual evidence that there was a crime committed. They just don't have any of it. Bobulinski first alleged that Biden was corrupt, and this was back in October of 2020, claiming that Joe Biden had profited from a Chinese oil venture with his son. Oh yeah, we've got all these documents that prove all of this corruption, all of this, self-dealing. We got all this evidence right here. Okay, well, when you look at the corporate documents, though, of the company that were reviewed by the Wall Street Journal, not exactly a bunch of libs over here, or leftists, you would find that there was no role in that oil venture for Joe Biden. So how did he personally profit from it? Hunter Biden repaid his dad money at some point that his son borrowed. And that's it. Now, Bobulinski, when you look back at Bobulinski, he's got some, there's some questionable stuff in his past. It turns out that there was a bunch of lawsuits that he was involved in where he had attempted to shake down former business associates for money. Yeah. Now, that runs contrary to the claims that Bobulinski made a lot of money. He's not in it. He's not in it to make cash. Really? Seems like he is. He also has a bunch of questionable ties, like, for example, to the Russian-controlled energy conglomerate Rosneft through its founder, Viktor Vekselberg. Okay? So, now, here's the thing. He was partners with, again, Hunter Biden. And they had this group coming together, this investment vehicle called Sinohawk, right? Or Sinohawk. And when they were partners, Bobulinski and Hunter Biden had actually disagreed in involving that entity into a business deal with the Chinese energy firm CEFC. Now, that's privately owned, by the way, so that's not part of the Chinese Communist Party, right? When it's privately owned. It's not. Maybe they have a stake in it. I'm not entirely sure, but certainly it is privately owned. All right. Now, that Chinese energy firm wanted to do a deal with Sinohawk and a bigger deal with Rosneft. Now, Biden's like, wait a minute, I don't like this. Okay, I don't really want to get involved with Rosneft because they had been sanctioned by the United States government. Now, Bobulinski's like, I was the one who was actually worried about that deal. I did not like the CEFC Rosneft deal. I don't want to get involved in that. But in reality, it was Hunter Biden that was arguing with Bobulinski about this. In fact, there's a recent recently unearthed WhatsApp messages between the two where Hunter Biden had threatened to break Bobulinski's jaw. He wrote, I'll say it one final time. I don't care how much money you've made, what teams you were captain of, or how many soulless oligarchs you call friend. A reference to Vexelberg there. Money doesn't interest me. Winning is ephemeral and fleeting, and I have no interest spending my days on a super yacht, measuring my dick with the people on the super yacht next to me. Why does Hunter Biden sound kind of based? He then says, I care about one thing, my family. Your demands make me uncomfortable, and your insults remind me of the crap the captain of the lacrosse team said to me in college about my dad right before I broke his effing jaw. Damn. So now look, that's part of those messages that were unearthed. This happened back in May, actually. That was before he personally, Bobulinski, flew to Moscow in June of 2017 to meet with CFEC's executive director. So very much interested in that deal. But again, that fell through. Now, a separate entity that Hunter Biden had co-founded with Chinese investors did receive $5 million from a CEFC affiliate in August of 2017. So after all of this went down, after Sino-Hawk had been dissolved, that ended up netting Hunter Biden $500,000 up front, followed by monthly consulting fees of $100,000. So that's a lot of money that Bobulinski missed out on because he wasn't involved in that venture. Sounds like he's a little salty that a massive deal that he was part of fell through. He didn't get the money, while Hunter Biden did. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I wonder if he holds a little bit of a grudge from the WhatsApp messages. Sounds like he might. He might have reason to. So now, in addition to that, there's factual errors with Bobulinski's interview with the FBI, that happened in 2020. Now, that for years has been held up by Republicans as official documentation for the claim that Hunter Biden had arranged for a 10% cut for the big guy, or Joe Biden. Now, it turns out that never happened as well. And so, Bobulinski, not exactly equipped to call other people liars when he keeps getting caught in his own and blaming other people. But yet, this is the guy that James Comer calls the one credible guy in the Biden orbit. But for me, I don't know, it just seems like to me, he's nothing more than a guy who's been chasing a big payout and thinks that he found pay dirt in going after Hunter and Joe Biden.